All right, we're here. Hey, everybody. Glad you could be here if you're here. Um, Weird time, I know, and I've told you guys before. I'm gonna be doing some of these at different times throughout the day, just because it's not really fair for everybody that can get there at 7 p.m. That's when I'm gonna do most of them is 7 p.m. and I may do one this evening anyway. But I mean, we got friends in Australia, we got friends all over, and a lot of people, up early in the morning need something to watch. And so I'm going to shift these around sometime, especially when the challenge gets started on Monday. When I do the live videos, I'm going to, pardon me, I'm going to kind of shift them around so different people can watch them. Most of my live videos are going to be at 7 p.m. Central Time, because that seems to be when most people can get there. When you get in here, type in a greeting in the comment section. Let me know you're here. Let me see if the audio and the video and all that is working. Um, it's a little bit, it looks bright out, but it's always a little darker than it looks. And so I'm seeing a little pixelation on the video. So I'm not sure if it's going to be all right or not. Wanted to basically touch base. It is Thursday, the 16th of April, 2020. Hello, Prepared Homestead. Glad the audio and video are good. Everybody else, just type in, say hello and where you are. And so we're a month or so into this whole pandemic thing, and people are starting to get a little antsy. There's stuff going on out there. I wanted to revisit some points that I've been making for 6 weeks about all of this. The main issue is that the thing is not the thing, because the big argument that's coming up now is about the second wave, and so as you know, civilization is divided into two parties now, and everybody's like in one party or the other than us. And you are either in this was all blown up, big nothing, power grab, uh, no worse than the flu. Let's get on with life. Some of that stuff probably accurate, don't know. But that's your thing, and that's your politics and your political party and all this kind of stuff. And the other side is like, oh my gosh, the idiots out there are going to kill us all because they're all walking around without masks on. And so in this dialectic idea, there's now the fact that people are talking about a second wave, and which is, I talked about it 5 or 6 weeks ago when we very first heard about this thing. So I want to remind everybody that the thing is not the thing. This is not about the coronavirus. That doesn't mean that the coronavirus isn't real and that it isn't horrible and that it isn't going to kill everybody. I don't know. I'm not an epidemiologist. I don't comment on that. But people are too stupid to listen to me and to listen to what I'm saying. If I say it's not about the coronavirus, I'm not saying that space aliens are trying to take over the world. I'm saying I am not concerned as much with the coronavirus as I am with human and governmental reaction to the coronavirus, which means it is real because people think it's real, even if it is real. So you have two options. It is absolutely real. It's as bad as they say. It's going to get worse. A million people are going to die. If that happens, we're going to see a societal impact and collapse and possibly really, really bad situation that could cause a systemic collapse that's going to affect everybody. That's one side. Here's the other side. It's not. It's all a plot to take away our freedom. It's all a big conspiracy. And if that happens, we're going to have a civil war, and there's going to be blood in the streets, or we're going to have martial law, and that's going to be bad, and it's going to cause a systemic collapse. And that's what I'm saying. I'm saying it doesn't matter which side is right. And I'm not saying it's not all going to go away and we're not going to go back to some semblance of normal. I'm saying if you're smart, you realize that of all the options, 75% of the probability is that things are going to get bad, and we need to be prepared, and we need to be thinking that way. Why in the world do I have to constantly, and I know I have new people all the time, but constantly deal with people face to face or on Facebook who are so much in their one camp, they think if you say anything that even begins to favor the other camp, that all of a sudden you're either not taking this seriously, you're going to get people killed. It is so frustrating. Even friends are like that. It is not about the coronavirus. That doesn't mean the coronavirus isn't real. It means the reality is whether the coronavirus is as bad as they say or not as bad as they say, the human toll is going to be massive. The human toll. And it's very possible that we're going to see some type of depression, serious social interruption, and interruption in goods and services. That's what I mean when I say it's not. The other day, I put on Facebook, it's not about coronavirus. And people are popping in. Well, I've talked to doctors and they say it's real. Not saying it's not. Never have doubted it. The reaction, as Prepared Homestead says, is real. The reaction is real. In 1999, coming up to Y2K, I was being asked to speak all over the place. And I started every talk by saying, I'm not a computer scientist. I'm not a computer programmer. I have no idea whether Y2K is going to be a big deal, and neither do you. You don't. Experts are saying it's going to be the end of the world, and experts are saying it's not going to be even a glitch. Everybody lies. So I don't care about Y2K. What I care about is that there's a possibility, whatever percentage you want to attach to it, for major disruption based on human behavior and government reaction. This is worse. This is worse because in that case, if nothing happened, we didn't have a problem. In this case, whether something happens or not, as far as the virus, we're probably going to have a really, really bad time. The economy is demolished. It's demolished, and it's going to. And they're dumping food. We're having interruptions. Factories are closing. Food factories are closing. Good morning. I'm not mad. I'm frustrated that I can't. The echo chamber and the two camps is such that you cannot say anything without that phrase, absent any context or anything else you believe or have said, being placed into one of those camps. And so that's just a really, really frustrating thing. So I want to remind you, the thing is not the thing. The thing is that we are looking at some serious disruptions. Maybe 2 weeks from now, they drop all of this. It all goes away. We all go back. My movie gets made. I'm happy. You're happy. Whatever. Would I bet on that? No, I would not bet. I'm betting on the opposite. I'm betting on the opposite. So I want to say good morning to everybody. I want to give you updates. We're talking about the 30-day challenge coming up. A lot of stuff going on. Got to talk about the t-shirts because that's important. Got to talk about all this kind of stuff. So we got to, and if you're out there, smash the like button, hit the like button on every video. Just because you did it on the last video, you got to do it. You got to do it because that's the only way we're going to grow the channel and we're going to be able to get more people to see the information. Just the rant I just did is worth a like. It's worth it. So if you're watching this later on, put a like in there. Just hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, be subscribed. I think from the statistics with the analytics, I think 53% of the people watching these videos are still not subscribed. You want to be subscribed and you want to hit the bell button so that you get the notifications, because if something happens, I'm going to come on live and you want to be notified about it. So I will tell you this with all humility that I'm capable of. If you've been listening to me for 6 weeks, you have been way ahead of the curve. Way, way, way ahead of the curve. Prepared Homestead said a month ago you were mocked if you wore a mask. Today you are mocked if you aren't wearing a mask. Yeah, that is the twilight zone where we live in right now. All right, so we got the like buttons, we got the subscribe buttons, all of that stuff. As far as the channel goes, I've been doing a fundraiser. This whole 30-day challenge is really an attempt to accomplish 2 or 3 things. It's to grow the channel. It's to teach people some important philosophies that could and will probably save their life. It is 4 or 5 things. It's an ability for people to see a difficult situation and how to handle it, to mentally and physically and all of those type of things. And it is a fundraiser. The whole 30 days is going to be a fundraiser so that we can have the infrastructure we need to grow this channel, which is going to help more people. The channel is not monetized. I don't make any money from it. And I don't have any sponsors, zero sponsors. And that's the way this show is going to start off. So that's the whole deal is. And so just to give you an example, today, 7:30, I'm going along, I'm ready to do the show and all of this. And then I look up and I realize I've been watching YouTube's this morning. And so I had my Goal Zero Yeti 150 box plugged in, and I've been running it for an hour and a half while I've been doing some work and watching YouTube, and I don't have any power, and the sun's not up yet. So I had to run up to the front to bring the car down. I hooked the car up to the solar trailer to put power into the batteries. Car had a flat tire. Had to get the tire inflated, get down here, get it hooked up, and this is the stuff I'm doing right now just to keep the infrastructure going. We got help coming. So I've been talking about the Goal Zero Yeti 400, which would basically allow me to get that charged, and that would allow me to go through a whole day with the minimal power that I use, so that if I need to do a live broadcast, moment's notice, I don't have to bring a car down and run gasoline and all that kind of stuff. That Goal Zero Yeti has been ordered. A friend of the station, of the channel, bought that, and it's coming in. It may not be here. In fact, most of the stuff that's been ordered is not going to be here in time for the start of the challenge, but it'll be here during the challenge. Right now, Amazon's got like this blanket May 7th. That's what they're telling everyone. No matter what you order, they're like May 7th. It's going to be there May 7th. I think some of it will be here earlier and some of it later. I have no idea. So the Goal Zero Yeti 400 has been ordered. That's going to be fantastic because that gives us two power sources, the 150 and the 400. The 400 will be down here at the office for the infrastructure for the channel. The 150 will go up to the cottage for Danielle and for me when we're up there, to be able to charge phones and to charge batteries for stuff that takes place up there. In addition, the Goal Zero 100-watt panel system I had put on my Amazon wish. And by the way, let me say that at the beginning. I put these things on my Amazon wish list and then let everybody know about it. If you want to support the channel, which means you want this thing to grow, more people to see it, more people, and you want to see me do more stuff, then you can go to the Amazon wish list. There's a link. There'll be a link in the description, and you can buy those things and ship them, and it's going to go towards that. So the Goal Zero 100-watt panel system, which is made to plug into the Goal Zero Yeti, has been ordered. So that's going to get here probably around the same time. That's going to be fantastic because that means we don't have to carry the Goal Zeros back and forth to the office to use the solar panels down there. We can actually charge it up at the cottage. Let me read this. They've been under promising but over delivering for the most part. Yeah, I think so. I think that's probably a good policy on their part. And it's weird. Some things are like still next day, 2 days. And then some things I ordered a month ago. I ordered these push-up handle things that allow you to do deeper push-ups. They were like $9. And I still haven't got them. And now they're talking about shipping them in May. Those will probably get here during the challenge. And there's other stuff that I ordered before I even came up with this challenge that's going to be getting here during the challenge. So it's going to be interesting. I want to talk about that too. So the solar panel for the Goal Zero Yeti. There was a camera. Now I have this. I don't know where it is. This nice. I think it's a Sony camera that my good friend author John L. Monk sent me a year ago for the channel, and I'm going to be using it. It's a great. I mean, it's like a $500 camera. It's nice. The problem is that it does not do night vision, and it doesn't do a few other things that I need for the challenge and to make it where it works. And so yesterday I spent some time. I woke up in the morning. I made a video of me with the camera, the Sony camera, and everything's just pitch black, and you can see this light on my head. And so I put it together in a video and I pushed it up on Facebook. And then I was in the process of pushing it up to YouTube when I got a message from a dear friend who said, "Hey, I bought the night vision camera thing, vlogging camera that you need, and it's going to be there May 7th." So I never did push that up on YouTube. So that was the next item of importance that was up there for the challenge and for being able to do this right. The next item that's at the top of the list is the drone. And a lot of people could be going, what in the world does a plain person living out in the off grid need a drone for? I don't need a drone. I can't think of anything that I need less than a drone. And anybody that knows me knows that I'm not a toy person. I'm not going to sit here and play with a drone. What the drone is for is I'm dealing with mines. And one of the problems that I have, hello, Elizabeth from Kansas City. Everybody hit the like button and go in and type in hello, good morning, and where you are. And so I'm dealing with mines, and the easiest way to communicate with mines is the way that I learn, which is visually. And so the ability to do things and show people things. Now, one of the problems I have is I've got this little cheap, I think this was like $4 selfie stick, and I can put the camera on there and I can show me walking, but you can't see anything else but my huge head. And or I can set the camera. I don't have a tripod right now. Oh, right, the Gorilla Pod the Gorilla Pod tripod that's flexible that you can attach to stuff. The original one has been ordered, and that one's coming in. I put a second one on there because I'm going to have two cameras, and I need one that's a little bigger and a little heavier for the heavier camera. So that's on the Amazon wish list, which will be linked below. But I can go set up a camera, but that's still going to give you a 20 by 20 maybe view of what's going on. And so people understand better when they have a bigger visual space to see in their minds where things are. And so the not only is the drone cool as far as the footage that you can do, but I can actually show the land. I can show the topography. I can show where the cottage is in relation to the office. Stuff people have been asking me for 15 years. I can show them the water features, all of this stuff. And in addition to that, it's going to be cool and it's going to make the videos better. More people who don't know me who are going to be watching this, and a lot of people are going to watch this because people are going to share it. Hello, Michigan. And so the drone is on there. Drones are not that expensive. You can get $10,000 drones. There's $5,000 drones out there. There's $1,000 drones. I think the one that I picked is like $180. So that's the next highest thing on the list. And I'll have to go on there and look and see what some of the other items are that's on the Amazon wish list. Anyway, if you got your stimulus check and you not only want to do the things that you want to do for yourself, but you want to stimulate the channel and the building of it and help that, you can either make a cash donation, which will help me do things as they're needed, or we can, go to the Amazon list and buy some stuff. One of the other things that we got was one of the batteries that are 12-volt sealed batteries that's going to allow us to do some more solar stuff. My solar trailer, which is what I normally run down here, has 3 100-watt panels, and there's the batteries are 10 years old. They're supposed to last 5 years, and they're shot. So pretty much if the sun comes up, I can have power, but that's about it. Those batteries need to be replaced. And so that's one of the things that I put on the Amazon wish list, or batteries for that, so that we can have all of this is infrastructure that does very little for me in my regular life. It does allow us to charge batteries, so headlights and stuff like that. So it does help us with that. But most of that stuff is actually, hello, Bulgaria. Most of that stuff is really for the outreach. I have a ministerial outreach. I have the outreach of talking to people every day, entertaining, wisdom, understanding, answering questions, helping people, connecting people, and then the videos and all that kind of stuff. And so it's really just to help build that infrastructure. Hey, thanks. Glad to see you. Everybody smash the like button. So far, 4 people have hit the like button. That's not very good. If you would just hit the like button, that would be great. Make sure that you're subscribed. So the second thing is that we built a support page for people that want to support the channel. Now, there's a Patreon that allows you to do money every month. Most people do like $5 on my Patreon, patreon.com/Michael Bunker. There's a link below. But we've also set it up on the support page, which is linked below, that you can go in into Stripe, and there's just a form and you fill it out and you can do a monthly. It'll just monthly send $10, $15, or $20, whatever you want to do. And then also on that support page, there's Venmo now. You can donate through Facebook, all this kind of stuff. 6 have hit the like button. You are correct. And we need more. So here's the thing about the donations. All it does is allows us to keep helping. You're going to see in the 30 days, I could sit out here and eat eggs and eat pork and bacon sitting on my butt mainly for 30 days, but that's not the way this works. There's going to be a lot of stuff that we're going to be doing to help people. I'm doing this to help people, to teach people, and to give them a different way to live and all that sort of thing. And different ideas, the bunker principle in effect. It's going to be fascinating. It's going to be fun. It's going to be educational. There's going to be wisdom, and I think a lot of people are really, really going to like it. And so we built a support page. Now I need to talk about T-shirts. By the way, put your questions and comments, anything you want to talk about. If you want to talk about what's going on in the world, if you want to talk about government overreach, if you want to talk about government underreach, or whatever you want to talk about, you can put it in the comment section and I'll get to it. So here's the thing. I don't really like to sell merch. And the reason why is because once you get into retail, you have to deal with people and the worst side of people, and people are difficult. And a lot of them are not very smart. And then you have technical problems and shipping problems and all that kind of stuff. So I've kind of avoided doing merch, but I because of my workouts for the movie and everything else, losing a lot of weight, getting in shape, none of my clothes fit me. So I've got 2 pairs of pants. One pair is like tied, so I can continue to wear those. The other pair are already big. And then I've got sweats. So like a week or 2 before this whole coronavirus, we realized I was down from a 44 or 48 pants down to a 38. And none of my clothes fit me. My shirts didn't fit me. Nothing fit me. So my wife and I went to the thrift store. We went to Goodwill. We went to, I always want to say Salvation Army, but it's a Good Samaritan store. That's where we shop. And I got 2 pairs of pants, and I got a bunch of workout clothes and some sweats, a couple pairs of tennis shoes. And so and we were thinking, as time goes by, every week or so, we'll go to the free store, we'll go to the Goodwill, and I'll get a new wardrobe when I get slimmed down to where I want to be. Then coronavirus hit, so I'm sitting here with almost no clothes. None of my shirts fit me. I think I had 2 or 3 T-shirts total. I had the workout clothes that I just got, and then I had 2 pairs of pants. And so thrift stores are closed in Montana. Not surprised. And so most people that know me know that I don't wear T-shirts. I don't dress casually most of the time, but this is a weird time. And, I'm working out throughout the day. So I'm wearing my T-shirt that my friend Tom Cochran sent me that has my head on it and it says Bunker. And when he first sent that to me, I said, "Can you even wear a shirt with your own face on it?" And he said, "You can if you wear it ironically." So I said, "Okay," and I thought it was fun. And I would take a picture with me with my head on it, and it says Bunker on it. And so totally forgot that you don't think about what you're wearing, people seeing it. And so I was doing some pull-ups or something, and I had my Bunker shirt on, and people were pinging me private message and all that, saying, "I want that shirt. I want that shirt. I want 4 or 5 of those shirts." And so I said, "Okay, maybe Tom can just make them and send them out." And then more people want them, and more people wanted them. And then a good friend of mine messaged me and said, "You're asking people to donate money, but then you're just not taking advantage of people want to help and they want to have things. So why don't you sell the T-shirts?" So we ended up making up a plan to do at least one batch of t-shirts. And so I had Rob McClellan, my IT guy, he runs my website, build a t-shirt sales page. And then, so we had like 25 people call dibs on t-shirts, which I thought was a fantastic number. And then I put up the sales page, and like 5 people have ordered the shirts. Like 5 people. This is what's frustrating. And I know people are busy and there's a coronavirus going on, but we have a window to get this first batch of shirts because I'm not using a print on demand service. This is a guy who's helping out, and he's going to drive to town in the pandemic, and he's going to buy the t-shirts, and he's got the equipment, and he's going to make the t-shirts. So we'd have to have all the orders in by Sunday for the first batch. Whether there'll be another batch, I have no idea. There's definitely a scarcity factor here because we don't know what's going to happen. But if you put in dibs on a t-shirt on my Facebook, you need to go. The link is going to be below 10 or 15 minutes after I finish YouTube. There's going to be in fact, it should already be down there. Click on that deal and go pay for your t-shirt so we know how many that he needs to drive and go get. Most likely, I'm not promising anything, most likely we're going to cut off orders on Sunday. He's going to get the t-shirts and he's going to make them on Wednesday or so, and then they're going to ship out. When you get your bunker t-shirt, take a picture and send it to me through the internet. And when I make a video sometime during the 30-day challenge, I'm going to post some pictures of people wearing the bunker t-shirts. All right. So it is 8:26, and I still got to talk about the challenge, but I'm here for your questions and comments. Hello, Linda from Pennsylvania. Glad you could join us. So we've talked about what's going on in the world. We can talk about more about that. We've talked about the fundraiser. We've talked about the Amazon wish list. We've talked about the t-shirts, and so the challenge. I've had a lot of comments, most of them really, really good about the challenge. It's going to be hard for people to get their minds around what even it's going to be like, because most people have no idea how we really live. And I've talked about the fact that there's this really kind of almost paradox, because you have half of the people who think that it is unimaginably difficult, and that they can't imagine living without air conditioning, living without running water. They can't imagine what it's like to do your farm chores by hand without electronics and all this gear and all this kind of stuff. You have people who watch me because of the survival aspect, who think, oh, this guy's living in the woods with a knife, and that's all he has. Everything's bushcrafted. You have people who think, oh, wow, what a great life. They're out there just cruising, raising their own food and all that. None of those things are accurate, but all of them are accurate. So it's this weird paradox. And so people are actually going to be, for the first time in probably 15 years, are going to be able to see real life, with the exception that it'll be me pretty much alone because of the way that we structure things. And so Danielle will be here for some of the videos, but for a lot of the videos, she won't be. And that's all subject to what's going on in the world. The scenario that I'm going to be living under is we're going through life just like we are. The pandemic is just like it is. Most people are locked down just like they are. And eat some raw bugs and animals. I'm going to eat some animals, but I probably am not going to eat any raw bugs. But instead of, the fact that I live in Texas and there's no lockdown and I can go to the store and I can go to the hardware store, none of that's going to happen. The scenario is that there's not only a lockdown, but that it's not safe. And so I cannot leave the property at all for 30 days. I cannot order stuff online that will directly benefit my survival. There are things that have already been ordered that are going to be coming in, and there are that were ordered before this whole thing happened. Very few. And then I'm also the things that people are getting on Amazon that are for the channel and for the technological infrastructure of getting the videos out. I will use those things as they come in. So when the drone comes in, if we get it, hopefully we do, I'll be using it and you'll see drone footage. When the solar panels and batteries and stuff come in that allow me to charge the batteries to keep doing this without hooking up a car and using gas, I'm going to use them. Those things, you got to be able to separate in your mind the survival aspect of things and the infrastructure that's used to just show it to you. So, all right, which vegetables are best for survival here in Central Texas? I'm not far from you. If you've got them in early, a lot of the things like greens are absolutely one of the best things. And here in Central Texas, a lot of greens, if you just take a little care, will grow year round. So, collard greens are fantastic, and we've kept collard green plants alive year round using row covers. But all of your salad greens come up early. They do real well. They bolt when it gets hot, but you can get a lot of food from them. And I can also use that for animals. Green beans generally do well here. Sweet potatoes do well here. Squash, really, really good. Okra is really, really good. Basically, if you think of Southern food, they do really, really well in Central Texas. Southern food, sweet potatoes, okra, um, black-eyed peas, those type of things. As far as being able to put up a bunch of food, every year is different. Tomatoes, we've had years where tomatoes went gangbusters, like years like this where there was a lot of rain, and we just got so many tomatoes we didn't even know what to do with them. And then we've gone 3, 4, 5 years where we didn't get any tomatoes at all. It hit 95 degrees or 100 degrees in May and stayed hot for 4 months, and we never got tomatoes. So stupid Microsoft Outlook is blocking my. And so you never know what crops are going to come in real well. We've had years, 2007, green beans started coming in, and we would go out with bushel baskets and get green beans every day. Most of the time, we've got a field crop. This year, because of the movie and because of the land Sabbath, we put in no field crop, and there are 0 plants planted in the garden, 0. And so I'm going to be working on late getting the gardens in during the 30-day challenge. I'm going to be planting stuff. I'm going to be doing what I can to try to harvest some food. A lot of stuff that I'm going to put in is not going to be growing and big enough until maybe midway or late in the challenge, but you'll see me eating it, Lord willing, if the weather holds up and all that kind of stuff. All right, so guys, it is 32 minutes into this deal, and it is 8:32, which works out perfectly. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll wait a couple of minutes. I want to talk as long as you guys want to talk, but if there's no questions coming in, then we will go ahead and close it down. I probably will be back this evening at 7 p.m. Central Time because there's other things I want to talk about. It is Thursday. I'm not preparing in any way for the survival aspect of this. I'm preparing in my life for the challenge. So I got to get like the cottage cleaned up. I got to get tools located. I'm not buying any stuff that's survival oriented. I'm not like pulling out traps and cleaning them, and all that's going to be done on camera. So I'm going to be you'll see how bad a time this is for us to be doing this, for me to be doing this. It's a horrible time for me to be doing this, but that's why I want to do it. And so I'm not preparing in any way for the survival aspect of it. I'm not saying in any way the infrastructure of the filming and all that. I spent all day yesterday working on that, trying to testing, like walking around with a camera and saying, okay, what's a way to film this? Waking up at 3:30 in the morning and setting up the camera and saying, how are we going to film this? I'm hand digging a well right now for my garden. Awesome. Yes, please send me some of your music. Absolutely. Don't send it to me on a DVD or a CD because I don't have a way to play it. Send it to me as an MP3. Do send it. And by the way, as this channel develops, I'm going to need a promo music. I'm going to need intro and outro music, all that kind of stuff. And so I can tell you this, and I'm a time traveler. This channel is going to blow up. You don't see it yet, but it's going to. If you just look at my analytics, this channel is blowing up, and you're just seeing the beginnings of it. And I'm not one of these people that's going to go, oh, you're going to get a lot of exposure, but I think you're going to get a lot of exposure. So if you come up with some good music and I end up using it on here, I will always put a link to how people can get it. All right. One farmer plowed under acres of green beans. Yeah, they're destroying food all over the country right now. I think it wouldn't be such a bad idea to charge a small fee for the content. There's just not really an infrastructure to do that. I would do it if there was a way to do it, but right now there's just not a way to do it that I know of. And so the best thing I can do is just make great content and then talk to people and just try to talk sense into them if you like it. We're a whole generation, several generations now of people that were raised with free. And so when I was growing up before the internet, you turn on the radio was free. You turn on the TV was free. There was no subscription services. And so people just got stuff for free because of the advertising. That free model has started to go away. And so now there's a subscription model. And so people, and a lot of stuff is still free. You know, YouTube is still free, and you watch ads and all that. But see, YouTube does not allow me to monetize this thing because I don't have enough watch hours. We're up to 3,700 watch hours. All right. 300 more watch hours and we can monetize, but monetize does not mean a lot of money. If I was getting 10 times the views, I would still only make, $10 a month, $25 a month. Monetizing is a way that allows other things to happen, such as people right now, as you're watching this, you could do what's called a super chat comment and you could donate $5 and then your comment will be highlighted and it will stay at the top and all this kind of stuff. So that's the way, to do this. But until then, to convince people that it's worth it, to go down, hit the support button, send in $10, $20, $100, whatever you can do. And then that allows me to use wisdom to go, how's the best way to do this? How's the best way to show this so that people can learn it, right? Why are they plowing under green beans? Because they were selling to restaurants and stores that are that mostly are closed. A lot of those products were going to restaurants that aren't ordering. And so if you were selling to a big food producer, and all the restaurants are closed, and 90% of where your product was going, that's why they're plowing them under, because they don't. There's a window where you can open it. You can fresh green beans. You can get them and get them to the market. There are fewer trucks traveling. There's fewer. There's less infrastructure. There's less farm workers available to go out there and work it. So they're just plowing them under. We have a huge food problem that's going to be manifesting in the next 30 days. Huge. All right. I'm going to make a playlist and leave it continually playing on my computer. Yeah, you can do that. Don't do that too much as far as like one or two people, because they may catch on. I don't know if they have a way to catch on to that. Here's the things you can do with the channel. If you've already watched this video with me thus far, and I'm going to sign off in just a minute. Wait 20, 30 minutes, because I'm going to put stuff in the description. I'm going to upload it to my Facebook, and it's going to be here on YouTube. Come back, click on the video, turn the volume off if you don't want to hear it again, or if you don't want somebody in your family to hear it, turn the volume off and go do some chores. And it'll just play, that's not cheating. If you come back and you want to watch it, or if you want to watch it or show it to somebody, the watch hours will skyrocket. All right. The second thing is, when it gets monetized and when they start running commercials on the beginning of this, let them play. Don't skip commercials. If you support anybody on YouTube, do not skip the commercials. Just let them play. They're like 15 seconds, right? Elaborate on the food problem that we're going to have. Okay, our entire just-in-time food distribution system was based on this. It took a lot of technology. Farmers were using a lot of technology. They were planting crops in such a way that they could be harvested, they could be shipped all over the world and still be there fresh. And at the same time, a bunch of it doesn't get thrown away, so that there's always stuff moving. So they buy green beans from here, all coming to ripeness on different months. So there's always green beans in the store. There's always limes in the store. These things are seasonal crops, but they buy them from all these different places. The restaurants buy their food from these food distributors, and a lot of those green bean. Let's say you have a green bean farm. You have different ways to outsource your just-in-time growing. So you grow, and this percentage of the crop goes to grocery stores. This goes to a food distributor that takes them to restaurants and all that kind of stuff. When 75% of your buyers close down and furlough their employees. So if you had a restaurant, for example, great restaurant and brewery in Brownwood, Texas, that just opened up right before this whole thing happened, called Teddy's Brew House. They're only open Thursday through Sunday. Fantastic food, great beer, huge facility. Everything was going good. All of a sudden, this thing hits. Now they're still open and they're doing great, and they're doing a lot for the community. They started making hand sanitizer and distributing it in the community, right? And so, but let's say you were going to have 100 covers in a night. I don't know how many they have. A cover is of somebody coming in and sitting down and eating with their family. And instead of that, you got 20 people showing up to get a sandwich and a growler of beer. You're not ordering as much food as you were ordering. And then 9 other restaurants closed down and furloughed their employees. So that food is not being purchased. That food has to be harvested and it has to go somewhere. You can't just instantly start dehydrating millions of tons of food. The dehydration plants that some people send this stuff to can only operate so fast. And so that food is just going to rot. The schools are closed. Think of how many schools there are in Texas. Tens of thousands of schools, maybe more. Tens of thousands of schools, they're closed. They're not serving meals. That was a huge market for food providers. Now let's add on top of that the fact that you have trucking, right? Truckers have been doing a fantastic job. They're to be commended. Trucking companies are, but there's fewer products that are being shipped. There are fewer, and truckers get sick. People are getting sick. So there's a dependency that's going on that is stretching that system to its capacity. Now the truckers are driving around the country, place for them to stop. That's one of the big problems we're having. We're having huge problems with the infrastructure because it was not designed to handle this situation. This is why I'm saying it's not about the coronavirus. It's not about the coronavirus. It's about the fact that our system was not designed to operate this way. Any fermentation projects? Yeah, in fact, I have a beer, and this is going to freak people out during the 30-day challenge. I have a beer that's been in the carboy for a year, and we're going to bottle that up. It's going to be fantastic, but it's got like a Krausen on the top of yeast that's like that thick. We're going to harvest that, and I'm going to use that to make bread. I've got a couple other fermentation projects, but during the 30-day challenge, we're going to make a stout. We're going to make one of the only things I'm cheating on, and I'm not cheating for myself, was that somebody asked that we make kraut. I don't have any cabbage growing, so I am buying some cabbage right now so that we can make a batch of sauerkraut just so people can see how it's done. So that there's that as far as fermentation goes. As the garden starts coming in during the 30 days, I might be doing some fermentation stuff. I'm going to make small beer, and I might make some secret stuff. We'll see. Internet is not free either. Please read The Age of Surveillance. Oh, come on now. Of course it's not. What I'm saying is that when you're watching it, you turn it on, $5 doesn't come out of your wallet. I understand surveillance. I understand where the money's coming from, and I understand that. Come on now. Just give me a break with that. And I'm sorry, Beverly. I know you don't mean anything by it, but I understand there's a cost to it. The context of what I'm talking about is the fact that people turn it on and there's not money coming out of their wallet that they know about, that they're thinking about. Every piece of entertainment, has always been a cost. There has always been a cost. There's a tracking cost. There's the fact that the food is degraded. There's a bodily cost. There's a health cost. There's a physical cost, and there's a monetary cost. Let's just assume that I already know that. All right. So we got 44 minutes. Anybody else have any questions or comments? Let's do that. Put your questions or comments in there. Otherwise, I got stuff I got to go do. One thing I got to do is clean the cottage. I got to get that thing cleaned up because I'm going to be filming up there, but also because Danielle's going to be home tomorrow and I don't want her to come home to a dirty car. All right. I don't see any comments coming in, so this is going to be it. If I so to leave you with this, hit the like button. There's only been 10 likes. Do you dabble in beekeeping? I have. I had bees in Smyre that did great, and then we came out here, lost all the bees. I bought bees, got bees started again. Bees left. Bought bees again. Bees left. Caught a entire hive of bees, and they and then I had a huge disaster because we dropped the trap that I had the bees in. I got stung and the bees took off. We ruined the, I mean, it had probably a couple 100 pounds of honey in this trap. Part of the 30-day challenge is me trying to catch bees. So you're going to want to tune into this deal for sure. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell icon so you get the notifications. Go down to the support page. Do a support today. Only 10 people have liked this video. 10 people since we've been on here. So hit the like button. I mean, it's just that easy and it's free and it's really, 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 really going to help. If you're watching this later, do all of those things. Go to my Amazon wish list, buy something, or just, send a donation or whatever. And we're going to make this thing fantastic. The 30-day challenge starts in 4 days. I'm going to look forward to seeing y'all then. Hey, tune in this evening, April 16th at 7 p.m. And I'm going to be back on here and we'll talk to a whole new different group of people who are awake at that time. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Love you. Lord willing, I'll see you this evening.